Hey everybody, Jim Powers from MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we get you up close and personal with our coaches once again this week. And joining us is our men's soccer coach, David Korn. And David, last week, a tough road trip. Fell on the short end in overtime on Friday against Parkside, but a great bounce-back win against Lewis on Sunday. Talk about the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the first time for us we've been on the road, and especially in conference play. So good opportunity for us to see some different opponents, see some different venues, and be challenged in ways that I think will further prepare us as the season goes on. Friday, I thought Parkside played extremely hard, and we didn't manage the end of the game as well as we needed to, and certainly could have taken some of our opportunities well, but was a good kind of growth and learning experience for the guys. And like you said, I was very pleased that we bounced back, especially after conceding an early goal to Lewis, to find a way to get a result in the dying minutes of the second overtime.
You know, and Helmut, what a great weekend for him. And we really haven't had a chance to talk a lot about him, but he's just been one of those grinded type of guys up front for you, working with Jorgen and you know, some of the other guys that's just really doing some great things.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was, from a goal-scoring standpoint, continue to be a guy who's very confident in front of goal. We know can, both last season and this season, come up with some important goals for us. And he put himself in some good spots late in the games and has continued to refine his running and movement in the box. And I think we've only probably seen the beginning of what his development will be over his 4-year career. And like you said, he's got some great support. I think Helgi is a forward as well as someone who has continued to play well at the position, and those two have been a handful for opponents. And then, you know, Jorgen, Nico, Pontus in those attacking mid-roles have offered some great support, and they too can contribute from a scoring standpoint. And then we've got, you know, 5 guys in the wings that we feel really confident at any point in time can contribute to the play.
You know, the one thing that I don't think a lot of people know is typically when they see forwards or midfielders, they're normally guys that are maybe 5'6", 5'7", speedster type of guys like JD. You got height, I mean, with Helgi and with Helmut. Those guys up front, that poses a lot of issues for opposing teams, especially on 50-50 balls in the midfield area.
Yeah, I mean, we asked those guys to hold the ball up, and physically there's a challenge to that going against teams opposing center backs, and I think those two guys continue to do well, and that's a strength of theirs. And then, like you mentioned, we have some really quick guys as well. I mean, I think JD is a guy that you mentioned who can stretch the game at this pace. Rasmus on one wing is a guy who's very quick. Ricardo, Vittorio, both also very, very quick players. And so I think those combinations give us some diversity in our attack and allow us to try some different things throughout the course of a match.
We fall into the RV section of the poll this week, receiving votes, which is still awesome. We're still number 4 in the region. We kind of expected that after going 1-1 on the road trip.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and like we talked about a few weeks ago, I think where we sit in that part of it is great. It's a bonus and something I think that the guys should continue to feel confident about, and a testament to where the program has come over the last few years. And for that, I commend the players. They've done a great job growing. I think we also know there's a lot for us to play for ahead of us, and so now our focus is on what we can continue to do to improve and get better as we prepare for tomorrow's match.
Tomorrow, Illinois Springfield. Sunday, a big one against Quincy because Quincy's right there with us. Illinois Springfield, though, they're going to pose some issues, especially up front with some of the things that they do attacking-wise.
Yeah, I mean, they're both right there with us. It's a good weekend for us in terms of two teams that come in with similar records and similar places in the standings, and you know, good opportunity for us to continue to pick up points and play well at home. But certainly going to be challenged Friday. I think we were joking with some of the guys. Every game seems big. There's no weak opponents in the league, and I think Illinois Springfield's gotten off to a great start in the conference, and certainly, like you mentioned, has some attacking weapons that we have to be prepared for, and is also just a very competitive and I think disciplined team. So will be a good challenge for us going into the match tomorrow.
Outstanding stuff, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jim.
David Korn joins us as he does every week, talking about our men's soccer program. They play tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Now, note that start time. It is a 30-minute change. We'll start the men's game at 2, the women's game at 4:30. Try and beat the darkness later on in the evening tomorrow night. But we'll have all the action on Saints Vision. Also be able to follow us on Twitter at Maryville Saints, so you can follow along with how the men are doing this weekend. For Coach, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week. And as always, go Saints.
Go Saints.